searching all night long, but there's no trace to be found. It's like they all have just vanished, but I know they're around. I feel they're getting closer. Their hearts are sending chills down my spine.
Welcome back, my pack, my tribe. Howling After Dark EVP Part 2. Alright. So, yes, classic, as in an old episode. Most of these that I call classic, actually, are from when I did this show on tiparesearch.com, which is no longer. Hence why they're classic, because this is the only place you can hear them. So, here we go. Howdy, folks. It's your friend, Ghost Wolf J. I haven't been on Spreaker for a while, so bear with me. Well, I just, I don't know, I just felt like getting on here, I guess, and talking a little bit. I got some EVPs and stuff to play. I'm still kind of downloading them, so like I said, bear with me. Where the heck is it? Okay. Why is that not showing? That's why. Okay, now it should be working. There we go. Anyways, here's the first one. To set this up for you a little bit, we were, and by we, and for those that don't know, I actually have a show on another station, formerly UtahParanormal.com or .net. It is now TIPA, TIPA Research.com is the new one, because Utah Paranormal closed down. But I have a show on there called Howling After Dark, which I actually started on Spreaker months ago. And it's been really good. It's a 2-hour show. It's on Wednesday nights from 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. And I talk about everything, paranormal, from the perspective of, being a Native American and having the gift that I do, which is the fact that, and no, I'm not quoting Bruce Willis, a Bruce Willis movie, I see dead people. And actually, I see spirits in general. But coming from that standpoint, I've learned a lot about spirits that most people don't know, because then I can actually see the way that they behave when they think nobody's looking. And I'm very fortunate that I live in this time, because I can talk about it and not get flack over it. I don't have anyone knocking on my door or looking to burn me at the stake for being a witch just because I'm different. So it's kind of a cool time to be gifted like that. And but anyways, going back to what I was talking about, we were at this house, and we were contacted to do a cleansing. And let me explain. I'm actually a medicine man. I'm of Cherokee and Blackfoot descent, originally from Montana, but I've lived all over the country. So unfortunately, I'm what would be called a city Indian nowadays, but my heart's always been on the res. I'm just saying. Anyways, we were at this location doing a cleansing, and the way we do it, and I don't know how everyone else does it, but the way that we do it is we investigate the location first, because we want to be certain of what we're dealing with beforehand. And so we're in this it's actually a very beautiful house, but it was split into a duplex. And there was a wall separating both homes, but they actually shared access to both the basement and the attic. And during this particular time, we were up in the attic, and you're going to hear like a bunch of people talking, and these are live living people, but you're going to hear two things, and I'm just going to play it first and see if you guys can make it out. So here we go.
Yeah,
Okay, Springfield Daily Paper, August 18th, 1961. Just a reminder to look that up. And EVP rolling. Up in the attic.
People used to use that shredded paper for insulation. But that ain't what that is. I mean, you can tell because you can read it. But
when we were up here last time, I felt a lot of anger here. That's what I was here last night. The ones when I was thinking of it. It's like it's burning.
anybody else here alone just now?
No, we're not alone up here.
No, there's somebody up here.
Nice orbs. Okay, now I'm going to play this again in a second, but I'm going to tell you what I heard and what I do here. You hear all of us conversating or whatever, but in the midst of it, I believe my buddy Greg says something, and I don't quite remember what it was, but he says something. Right after he says something, you hear, "Help me," like a whisper, "Help me." And then somebody else says something, and then you hear me. I'm just kind of humming or whatever it was I was doing, where I go, "Oh, ho, 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 ho," like that. You hear me do that on the digital recorder, and right after I do that, you hear like a whispering voice, kind of, "Burning, burning, 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 burning." So let me play this again, and I'm going to boost up the volume. Let's see. Okay, Springfield Daily Paper, August 18th, 1961. Just a reminder to look that up. And EVP rolling. Up in the attic.
People used to use that shredded paper for insulation. But that ain't what that is. I mean, you can tell because you can read it. But
when we were up here last time, I felt a lot of anger here. That's what I was here last night. The ones when I was thinking of it. It's like it's burning.
anybody else here alone just now?
No, we're not alone up here.
No, there's somebody up here.
Nice orbs. Okay, let me play that one more time. Okay, Springfield Daily Paper, August 18th, 1961. Just a reminder to look that up. And EVP rolling. Up in the attic.
People used to use that shredded paper for insulation. But that ain't what that is. I mean, you can tell because you can read it. But
when we were up here last time, I felt a lot of anger here. That's what I was here last night. The ones when I was thinking of it. It's like it's burning.
anybody else here alone just now?
No, we're not alone up here.
No, there's somebody up here.
Nice orbs. Okay, I just want to point something out. What you guys are hearing right here, this EVP that I was playing, I no longer have it. So, this recording of my earlier Howling After Darks, my classics, if you will, is the only place you will ever hear this EVP because it no longer exists elsewhere. And we'll get back to that in a second, but first, before we get back to it, a couple things I just want to say really quick. And I'm saying this for the benefit of those that are on my team that are listening right now. There is a possibility, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but there is a possibility that we are going to be getting Clear Fork Ski Resort. I know we've been talking about that for a while now, and it's been kind of going back and forth. We would make contact with them, and things would look good, and then just nothing would happen. Well, recently, our good friend and team member Cody, physically contacted them, went down there, and spoke with the people at Clear Fork Ski Resort, and they basically told us to write an email to the member of the board there that is in charge of events and whatnot, and they did mention that they were actually looking to start doing ghost hunts and whatnot again, but they had a bad experience because they were with my former team, and without naming any names, I'm just going to say that one of the members of my former team wasn't exactly doing things on the up and up, and kind of screwed over a lot of people. And so, as a result, they were kind of turned off of the whole thing. And, timing is everything. And evidently Cody got a hold of these people just at the right, perfect time. And things are definitely looking up. We're also going to be trying to get the Mansfield Women's Club here in the near future. We're trying to make contact with them, as well as a bunch of other places in Mansfield that that are kind of up for grabs now, that weren't up for grabs before. So, like Becca said, woohoo, let's hope. And absolutely, keep your fingers and toes and everything else crossed. So, alright, anyways, here we go. Yeah, just before you hear my buddy Greg say, did anyone else hear a moan up here? You hear burning, burning, burning. Let me play that once again. Okay, Springfield Daily Paper, August 18th, 1961. Just a reminder to look that up. And EVP rolling. Up in the attic.
People used to use a shredded paper for insulation. But that ain't what that is. I mean, you can tell because you can read it. But
When we were up here last time, I felt a lot of anger here. That's probably like his last time. The last one I was thinking of. It's like it's burning.
anybody else hear a phone just now?
No, we're not alone up here.
No, there's somebody up here.
Nice orbs. Okay, so, you get the gist of that one. And, here's another, to set this up. We were just getting started, during this particular investigation. I belong to a group called PACE, Paranormal and Cryptic Exploration. We are the, the main investigation group for the Mansfield Visitors Bureau Haunted Mansfield in Ohio. We do all their locations with the exception of the Ohio Reformatory, which is world famous. But the other world famous location that we do actually do all the ghost hunting tours and everything for is the world famous Bisman building. And during this particular investigation, we were just getting started, and I'm going to let this play, and then I'll tell you what I hear.
Ford Bisman building. F.W. Simmons, are you up there?
Here, let me do that again.
Okay, J, EVP session, 4th floor Bisman building. F.W. Simmons, are you up here? Why don't you come over and talk to us? You hear that? There's your footsteps. FW, I gotta ask you a question. More than a little curious about. So why don't you come over here and show yourself? He's up here. I can feel it. He's up here. FW, did somebody kill you?
Okay, a couple of things I want to point out right here, and then we'll get back to this recording. One thing is that there's like a sound, like a knock, almost, but not like somebody knocking on wood. What it sounds like to me is like somebody dropped a stone onto a wood floor. And I'm probably going to rewind that a little bit so I can play it again. But once again, also, this classic Howling After Dark episode is also the only place that this EVP session still exists. Certain individuals on that team were not exactly great at holding on to evidence. So, yeah. And then, as you hear me talking to F.W. Simmons, for those that don't know, F.W. Simmons, for a lot of years, people believed that he was the person who killed little Ruthie Bisman back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And that on his last day of work there, the one thing we do know is that he was killed in the elevator. Supposedly, the official story is that he was going up in the elevator from the basement, and was like in between, I believe, like the second and the third floor, and somebody called his name, and he put his hand on the elevator hold lever, because it was all levers back in those days. There was no buttons, and he stuck his head out to see whoever was talking to him, and somehow let go, or lever slipped, or what have you, and supposedly decapitated him. That's the official story. I myself don't believe that, but the reason it was his last day is supposedly people were under the impression that he may have been the one that killed little Ruthie Bisman, and therefore was basically fired by the family. During an investigation I did shortly before I left that team, we discovered that it's very likely that not only was he not the one who murdered Ruthie Bisman, it's very likely she was actually murdered by a member of her own family. So, yeah. Anyways, continuing on.
You're going to have to come over here and talk loud.
Okay, here's what I hear. There's actually a few things in there. You can actually hear the footsteps that I mentioned near the beginning of the clip. I also picked up the sound of like rocks, like small rocks being thrown, and a few voices that I couldn't quite make out. And then right when I asked, did somebody kill you? Really kind of faint, but you can, if you listen really close, you should be able to make it out. I believe it says, "It wasn't me," which is very poignant if you know the history of the Bisman building, because one of the stories is that this one of the members of the Bisman family, this little girl by the name of Ruthie, was supposedly sexually assaulted and murdered inside the building. There are certain facts about that are actually they're written history now, that we know for a fact did happen. Case in point, they did find her remains inside the building. She was actually inside a pickle barrel when they found her. And her murder to this day is technically unsolved. But the family at the time suspected this guy F.W. Simmons, who worked for them. And there was no proof, and therefore nobody could do anything about it, at least not legally. And so he was summarily fired from his position, and it was his last day of work. He decides he's going to carve his name into one of the support beams that run across the ceiling on the top floor of this 4-story building. And he then gets on this elevator, and it's like one of these old-timey elevators. It's got the gate that lifts rather than an actual door. And the story goes is that on his last day, as he was leaving, as the elevator was going down, somebody called out to him, and he lifted the gate and stuck his head out to see who was talking, and he either didn't hit the stop button, or somebody had fiddled with it, or who knows. But he was decapitated in between the third and the second floor. On the day that he was fired. So it was like, if he was the one who did it, that would really suck for him, but if he wasn't, then it's just a run of really bad luck. And I had asked if somebody had killed him, but earlier that night, like right before this particular recording actually, I had asked him, did you do it? And he's actually, I think, answering that question, that it wasn't me. Because I've always personally had a suspicion that it wasn't in fact him. That he was kind of being set up to throw blame away from the person who actually did it. Who, and I have no proof of this, and I don't want to, slander anyone's good name in any way, but my personal theory is that it was actually a member of her own family that did it. Because for the most part, and I'll say this, for the most part, the Bismans were really, really cool people for their time. They were really kind of pioneers in their business, which was this kind of grocery wholesale kind of place. They were kind of like the Sam's Club of their time. And they were very caring people from all accounts. But there were a few that were kind of, you kind of hear the history about it, and you're kind of like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? So, who knows? It could have been one of them, or it could have been somebody completely different. But I believe that he was answering me truthfully when he said it wasn't me. So I don't think it really was him. But I'm going to play it again. So, here it goes. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just part of it. And then I'm going to play a song, and then that'll be my time. Alright, here we go.
You're going to have to come over here and talk loud. You're going to have to come over here and talk loud. not to come over here and talk loud.
Okay, that is just about my time, folks, but here's a song to take us out. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'm... Okay, so anyways, that's pretty much that. Got about 7 minutes left in the show, so what I want to do now is dang it. Sorry, I was trying to fix my vaporizer because it's not working correctly. Anyways, like I was saying, what I want to do now is well, first off, I want to see yeah, okay, people are still in chat. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time to do it, as I've only got about 6 minutes left. If not, I'm going to go ahead and play some of these EVPs again. I'll go ahead and play this while I'm waiting. Now, I don't know what you're hearing there, but to me it sounds like laughter. Like, almost kind of like maniacal laughter. Okay, so the thing about this is during this residential case in eastern Pennsylvania, and we were up in this lady's attic, and my Pittsburgh, one of my Pittsburgh investigators, Sean, got scratched on his back, and he was like, you can barely hear him in the background, but you can hear whatever it was laughing at him, basically, as he was asking who scratched me. So, yeah, there you have it. Okay, let's go ahead and play the next one, which, this one, same place. Well, you'll hear it. Okay, folks. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff happening there in the beginning, a bunch of weird sounds and stuff. That's mostly us. Okay, so it's not a ghost there. But what I want you to pay attention to is this little tidbit right at the end. There's a voice that isn't any of us. So here we go. Okay, folks. Okay, folks. What I think it's saying is ghost. As if, it's telling us what it is. Okay, I just want to say something to somebody in chat. Jeremy just said, good show, Jay. Have a great night. Have a great night, Jeremy. Thank you for tuning in, as always. We'll see you next time. Wednesday night is going to be a really cool show. It's about superstitions. And, yeah, it did, actually. Becca just said, it sounds like it was repeating what you always say. Yeah, and it does. It actually repeats me several times, I found. Yeah, it's Gus. That's pretty much exactly what it's saying, I think. Either just a single, like ghost, or it's ghost, or something like that. And yes, I'm not saying it's ghost, but it's ghost. So, alright, we've only got about a minute left, folks. So, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, tune in Wednesday night. It's going to be a show about superstitions. And, is there a reality behind them? Like, is there like a real like paranormal phenomenon based on some of these superstitions, like, never crossing a black cat and don't walk underneath a ladder, what's the basis of these things, and is there any real life phenomenon attached to it? And I think the answers are going to surprise you, because they certainly surprised me. Alright. That's about it for tonight, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. See you Wednesday night, and see you the week after that, and the week after that. Tune in next time on your favorite Wolfie channel at your favorite Wolfie time. Until next time, my pack, my tribe. Peace out.